get the timer going here. Okay. All right. So I think that we're warming up here. So while we're waiting for confirmation that we're online and everything, I would like to invite everyone to go to hankstrange.com. That is the best way that you can support us. Go there, sign up for our email list. There's a section on there in the menu called Lola's Deals. You can see all the different deals that Lola posts. She's got daily deals, all that stuff. There's links also to our merch like Ballistic Ink. You can get Ballistic Ink. You can get one of these crazy Hawaiian stuff. What are these shirts called, guys? Are these like Hawaiian shirts?
Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah,
Hawaiian shirt.
That's what I would call it.
Yeah.
Never mind.
This one has a Uzi.
One here.
Yeah, this one has a Uzi, and I drove up to where Walter's at in Safety Harbor today. Very nice. Everyone was out on the beach with my Hawaiian Uzi shirt, and no one looked at me crazy, though. No one looked at me crazy.
You didn't go on the beach, did you?
No, I didn't go to the beach. I drove by the beach.
Were there actually people out?
Oh, there was a lot of people out.
Oh, the governor is not going to be happy to hear about that.
Forget about him. So anyway, go to hankstrange.com. That's what's going on here. I will press the button to start the show right now.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation.
All right, make sure you guys subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell so you can be notified every time we're live. It's Friday. I hope you have your big girl panties on. We are live right now. We've got a super special guest on the podcast tonight, Big John Hickok. There he goes.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome, man. He's got a green fireplace going. Big John, we do this thing here called Jazz Hands just to get warmed up. Right. I know you're an entertainment type, so there you go. All right, Jazz Hands, everyone. Jazz Hands, there you go.
There we go.
We are live. This is episode 530 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Like I said, our guest is Big John Hickok. We also have Babyface P. We also have Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms joining us. We have you guys joining us. Smash the thumbs ups out there. I don't know what's going on with YouTube this week, but for whatever reason, we're getting suppressed. So the people who rang the bell so they get notified every time we go live, lots of folks are coming in and saying that they're not getting notified. So if you can, smash thumbs up. It's a big thing. Share it if you can on social media. That'll probably help us the most. And if you do that, we appreciate you. Yes, we do have Big John here. We'll take questions, all that kind of stuff. It's Friday, like I said. So what's up? What's up, Patrick? You look like you're ready to go.
Popping out the chat so I can moderate questions.
Okay, all right, there we go. Okay, so Babyface is looking at questions.
That's right.
Yeah.
At sign me if you got questions.
Oh, okay. If you have, can you be bribed? Can you be bribed, Babyface?
Oh, definitely.
Do you need anything in the apocalypse? You need toilet paper? You need...
I could. We have one case. One whatever 12 or 18 pack. So
that's
I'm gonna have to start holding my poops in a little more.
That's all you have for the apocalypse?
Yeah, because we don't stockpile. That's not something I stockpile. I just go to the Walmart right around the corner and buy it when I need it.
Millennials.
Dude, I hit Amazon.
Just calm down. After a little bit of time, they'll have piles of paper.
Yeah. No, there's gonna be piles of it in no time.
Go ahead, Big John. What were you saying?
I was saying I hit at Amazon with a fury whenever I saw it happening.
How many?
A truckload.
Yeah, you had a throne or something like that. I saw Lola reposted that. You made a throne out of teepee.
That's not even all of it.
Oh wow!
Oh God!
You actually got it delivered.
Well,
obviously.
So when I went to the grocery store, I've been hearing about it. And I went to the grocery store and I saw it was starting to go sparse. And I bought a little bit when I was there, and I came home and started thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go on Amazon and order a bunch. So, and then I checked the next day to order more, and it was gone. It was off of Amazon. Wow. So I got in right under the wire.
Yeah.
I got hammered.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good thing that you didn't order that from Cheaper Than Guns or something like that.
Cheaper than
Did you see the people that were going on eBay to order? Or
eBay?
I think it was eBay. Yeah, they were going on eBay to order, and they were like, man, this is kind of expensive, but I need it. And then they realized they ordered, some people had ordered 3 years supply. It came in on a pallet. It's a massive amount. And they're like, oh God, I didn't realize I ordered that much.
Now you're good for
roadside toilet paper. That's what I do. I'm selling roadside toilet paper.
Yeah.
I'm just going off what we've seen with the ammo shortages, because even once people aren't freaked out anymore, once you get that idea in someone's head that something is valuable, because it's like value is all like
crazy,
made up and created to a certain extent. So like
Yeah.
now when you see toilet paper, you're like, oh, it's like gold, you know.
I can't believe
a while to get that out of your head.
I've fallen for a time. I felt like I was kind of falling into that, and I kept having to like slap myself and be like, no. I don't need I'll go to Publix or something, and I'm like, oh, I could go look in the aisle. I'm like, I don't need toilet paper. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times have we been through this similar situation?
Yeah.
Not with toilet paper, but with ammo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, many.
Yeah.
With all the different ban threats and everything else.
Yeah. I have
and
3 words for you. Great Tulip Fever. What was that thing called? I don't know. Tulip. What was it? Was it? Okay, someone tell me this. Wasn't it like the Tulip Fever or scarcity or the Tulip Run? No one remembers this, huh?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. So okay, someone will fill us in here. Back in the days, in the olden days, there was this. I don't know, somewhere over in the Europes, there was a run. Like tulips were a thing. Tulips were a thing. And then all of a sudden there was a tulip run, and tulip prices went up. Yeah.
If you didn't know.
Yeah. So there was like this massive tulip run, and everybody was buying up tulips. I think like tulips had something to do with royalty or whatever, and then it just went crazy. Everyone's buying all the tulips they can get. The prices of tulips went out of control. You guys never heard about that, huh?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, Babyface, see if you could look that up. See if I'm just making... I might have had a dream about that. I might have had a dream about the Great Tulip Run or the tulip scarcity of like 1700 something or whatever. But let me see.
Holy cow. I mean, there was the potato famine in Ireland, but I never heard of the tulip run.
Is this what you're talking about? Tulip Mania?
Tulip Mania. There you go.
Was a period in the Dutch Golden Age during which contract prices for some bulbs of the recently introduced and fashionable tulip reached extraordinarily high prices and then dramatically collapsed in February 1637.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
So,
human beings, we are crazy.
Yeah.
So the
cray-cray.
standard price index for a tulip bulb went from, I'm looking at a chart, November 12th of that year, it went from about, I don't know, $10 to February 3rd of the next year was at $200.
For a bulb,
Or-
one bulb?
I'm guessing it was like a certain amount. It was like a stock of bulbs or something.
Yeah. This is how crazy we are. There's some kind of crazy effect that happens.
Yes.
I think maybe
absolutely.
I started this because someone asked a couple of weeks ago. I didn't start this, but do you remember people were asking like, "Oh, what's the one thing you have to have in the apocalypse?" I said toilet paper.
Food.
That's always
Water.
Toilet paper is always high on the list. So,
Food and water.
So people saw that somewhere. People started Googling it. It came up. Oh, toilet paper. Like, oh, it's the end of the world. Let's go get all the toilet paper that exists.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's completely insane.
Yeah.
But then it becomes a thing where it's like, it's crazy. But then if everyone else is buying it up, you gotta
It's
get
like,
on
oh
it.
man, I gotta get in on this.
Yeah.
I can't not be at it.
Yeah.
I can't miss out on my paper.
You don't want your next door neighbor to have more toilet paper than you.
Yeah, people have been saying like, oh, just go in the shower afterwards. Who wants to take a shower every time they use the bathroom?
All right, can I ask my bidet question?
Oh God, here we
boy.
go.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't have one, and I don't intend to ever have one. Okay, so you wash your bottom with this stream of water, right?
Right. This is what
You
I hear
have to
about.
dry your you have to dry your bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some bidets
What do you use to
some
dry-
bidets might have a dryer.
What do you?
Oh God.
Or
Oh, no.
Blowing
or
warm
you
air.
plug in a
What do
hair
you use
dryer.
to dry your bottom? What do you dry your bottom with?
I'm guessing you got a butt towel or something.
Listen,
So,
in my opinion, God didn't make us with toilet paper.
I mean,
know, like-
really, if you think about it, you
Uh-huh.
take a shower, you wash your butt, and then you just use your
Yeah.
towel to dry your butt. So I mean, it's clean.
yeah, but you don't.
Part of it's our
Don't-
diet probably now.
Oh God,
You know?
yeah. Whew.
In the old days, like the kind of stuff they ate, it maybe wasn't as big of a deal or something.
Mhm.
Came out more solid.
Yeah.
Like potato chips.
Toilet paper might
Here,
be
I'll
a
show you.
great. It might be a great invention that might have saved a lot of people. You never know.
I don't know if you guys have seen this yet running around the internet, but this is Marley sent this to me a couple days ago, called the backyard bidet.
Mhm.
I think this is it's a great idea for anybody that needs something similar.
Nice.
A garden hose.
Okay, this is not.
Remember the-
This looks like a torture device.
with a hole in the seat.
And also,
try that outside when it's like 16 out or something.
Oh God!
okay. You guys don't want to
It's
know
like you gotta spread the poop around, really.
Oh, you fertilize your grass
Like
at the same
everywhere.
time. You know?
Yeah, I saw something like that on Pornhub, but I'm not gonna deep dive. I'm not gonna deep dive into it. So, yeah, I'm getting people texting me asking about whether or not we're doing. Yes, we're doing this. So, I'm not really sure what's going on, but people are texting me that I don't know. Probably something's going on with YouTube. Remember, the YouTube overlords are not actually there, so they've left Telnet. Telnet is monitoring the stream, so who knows what is going on and why they're not notifying. Walter, please don't get us deleted.
It's just a magazine.
Okay,
That's all
not
it is.
They don't know that.
Walter, this is supposed to be a
I'm
big
gonna start
show.
loading them shortly. So
This is supposed to be a big show. We got Big John on. Can we please?
I know.
Can you please not get us deleted? So,
Listen, I will admit, I did do a little bit of panic
Oh,
buying.
boy.
I got a couple.
you got magazines.
I realized over the last couple of years, whenever a friend gets into shooting or anything like that, I'm always like, "Oh, here you go. Here's a P mag to start you out with," like as a welcome to the club sort of thing. And then I looked in the safe the other day and I was like, "Damn, I only have like 7 mags."
You gave
left. I
away
need to
all
buy
your
some more.
you gave away all your mags.
I gave away my P mags for the last like 5 years.
Oh, you should do like me. So whenever people send me stuff for T&E, so obviously things come in for T&E. Most of the time they have to go back, right? If they come with magazines don't go back.
Keep it.
Yeah, that's my policy. Magazines never.
I get the magazine.
That's fair.
Yeah, magazines never get returned. Okay, so Big John, here's a question I'm gonna ask you. Obviously you're a gun guy.
We would help.
Yes, very. You
a little bit.
and of course Hickok. How's Hickok doing, by the way?
He's good.
He's good.
He's doing good.
All right. So what are the things? Because we were talking about this before we got on air, right? As gun guys, what is the stuff we're expected to have a lot of? Do you think? Like, what should be our main
Ammo.
list that we're buying all the time?
Yeah, ammo for sure.
Yeah, just ammo.
Buy it cheap and stack it deep.
Do what?
Is it?
I said buy. Oh,
No, go ahead.
I said buy it cheap and stack it deep.
Yeah, very true. I mean, once you kind of like, it's like the way I look at it, and I guess a lot of shooters do. You have your core group of firearms that are like, these are my guns. Like, these are my, part of the expression. Go to war, rifle or pistol or whatever. This is like my guns that are here for a practical purpose. And that's what you stockpile ammo and magazines and everything you need for. And then the other stuff is just kind of like, whatever. I mean, I've got guns that I probably have 30 rounds of ammo for, but it's like, a 303 infield and stuff like that. That doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. So like,
But like 5.56, that's what that's what I have a lot of.
right. Okay. So, and if folks are joining us and they don't realize, you do a lot of the camera work for Hickok, right? Otherwise we will be seeing like a crotch shot, basically.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, people don't realize how tall Dad is because I'm the same height. So it's like,
yeah.
and the table, the shooting table, he built that obviously for himself. So it's
Right.
really tall.
It's
So
got
everything looks in proportion.
Yeah.
Right. Everything is big,
Yeah.
Okay, I have to ask a question.
Okay.
Is your mother a tall person?
She's like 5'11". So,
Oh.
yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
that's
For a female,
Wow. Yeah.
female, she's tall. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you taller than Hickok or shorter?
People tell me that I am, but like for the longest time, like he was like 6'8.5", and I was always, when I'd get measured, I was like right at 6'8", almost exactly.
Oh, okay.
But as he's gotten up in years,
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Old age. Yeah, you gotta tell him to drink those Ensures or something like that. He might.
Yeah.
He might.
I'll never say that I'm taller than him though.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, that's the thing. I think so. When you meet your fans, right? You guys have a lot of fans. I'm sure they don't realize how tall you all are. You're like freaking Highlanders or something. There can only be one. What are the other things that people don't realize? Like maybe people don't even realize that you're the guy behind the camera. You have your own YouTube channel. You do your own thing that we're going to get into here. But what are the things that people just don't realize whenever they meet you guys?
I guess that's probably the big one, just how tall we are. They ask us a lot of questions like about the range, how far away the targets are, things like that, like where we're from, and all of that type of stuff. Questions about specific guns and things, but probably that is the biggest thing, because we kind of are just like who we seem like on video, except for the height part. So.
Yeah, that's so what do people think about the range? Do they think that that steel's not really that far? It's like an optical.
Well, we've had to tell people so many times. People freak out about the gong, like it's the most impossible target in the world. But it's a giant circle. It's like 2 feet wide. It's at 80 yards. Like the red plates, as we know, like we have the red plates up there. Those are much harder to hit. Everyone always talks about the gong, but the gong is just there because it's like, for a long range target, it's easy to hit.
Oh, okay. I don't know. There's feedback coming from somewhere. I don't know who necessarily that is. So, well, I was going to ask you something about the. Was that deliberate? The way of setting up the range, because it seems to me like one of the things that people like about the channel is it's the same setup all the time, and obviously let's take out like how tall you guys are, how big the hands are. There's like this universal aspect to the range and what you're shooting, and kind of like that's what people realize. Because I think even somehow you guys were in some kind of game. The range was in some kind of game based on that.
Oh
right?
yeah,
it's like
somebody. Yeah, they didn't like have our permission or anything.
Oh.
It's different enough, I guess, and it wouldn't be worth it to like do anything about it. But yeah, some VR game company made like a version of our range.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It'd have been nice if they had talked to us.
Yeah, I'm saying get some royalties.
Yeah, especially if it was like real successful. I don't know how big it is, but it is what it is. I thought it'd be cool, like if Call of Duty or something, they'd have like a training, like down.
You could voice over somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I've always felt like we talked about that for years. Where when we do reviews on guns and stuff, it's kind of like like we have the variable, which is the guns, and then the constant would be the range and dad. You know what I mean? So it's like those things being kind of the same. You can get maybe some idea.
Yeah.
But it's like I always look at it like movie critics. They're all going to have different opinions. Like you're crazy if you watch one gun review and make your decision based on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You watch a bunch of different people.
Yeah. Has it ever happened to you that someone looked at your review, bought something, and then you see them somewhere, and maybe they don't like it, and they're mad at you?
They never said that, but probably. I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah, that's the thing, because for me, I don't even like the idea of reviews. I'm trying to tell people in my videos where we're shooting stuff, it's just me hanging out, or me and Babyface Walter, or whoever is on the range with us. We're just hanging out shooting this thing. And I'm thinking people are going to look at a lot of different data and make up their own mind. I don't want to be solely responsible for your purchase. But I get, I don't know if you can escape that or not.
Yeah, I know with the terms it gets weird because it's like, review, are you testing it? And it's like, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like kind of, my opinion, just kind of call it whatever you want. And people can kind of see what it is. For themselves, like what we always say, we're like, this is one gun, this is one example, of this gun doing this, so that's like thing I always like to bring up is we got burned on that UTS 15. Remember that shotgun?
Yeah, the UTX. The bullpup.
Yeah, we got burned hard on that thing because we got it and we didn't like it for really because it was like really light and just beats the hell out of you and it's kind of awkward to use, but it worked. Like ours worked. And we got to do the video kind of early on it because we happen to know these guys that are Turkish that run a gun shop in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
I believe it was actually called Nashville Gun Shop. And they were like, you got to try this shotgun out. I was like, all right. We did a video, the thing worked. And then everybody else made videos and showed it like broke and it was unreliable and all this stuff. And it's like, and that was like a big eye-opener for us.
I think that happens sometimes that because it came from the gun shop. So you guys didn't deal with the company, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
They didn't even know about it. They just were like, hey, check this out. Like, okay.
Yeah. So that could happen sometimes. These are mechanical things. And even bad mechanical things, a couple of nice ones could go out there. People could get their hands on it, and then everyone else's sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, like, ever since then, we try to be more clear. Like, look, this is just one gun. You know what I mean? Like, if we have problems with it, doesn't mean it's bad. If it works great, doesn't mean it's good. You know?
Yeah. I think you guys probably have the. I'm trying to think if anyone has. I think you probably have the biggest library of gun videos.
Possibly. That's kind of what we always stuck to, just cranking out the guns.
Yeah. Are you all keeping up the same pace? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you that on your side of what you do? Are you that much into the guns, or are you more into the comedy stuff? I know you're into doing stand up and things like that.
Yeah, well, it's like here lately I've been more doing stand up and stuff. But yeah, I mean, Dad, like we do the videos. Dad does the research and all that stuff on the guns. But I'm there and shooting them and stuff like that too. So I mean, I have some perspective obviously on it. And then if I'm doing the video on it, I do the research and all that.
Okay.
But yeah, but a lot of my time here lately has gone to doing stand up.
Oh, okay, very cool. How did this stand up thing come along? The reason why I'm asking, that was kind of always my secret dream. I always wanted to be Eddie Murphy. If I could press a button and have any career, I would go for comedian, but Lola says I'm not funny, mostly because when I'm trying to tell jokes, I crack my own self up, which I guess is not, like I've looked at some of your, because if anyone goes to, it's John Hickok is your channel, right?
Right.
So if you guys go there, you've got some snippets of your stand-up routine. You are super serious when you're doing your routine, I noticed.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just like, kind of a little bit dry, I guess is how I am.
Yeah.
But,
no, I think that's good. I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do to be funny. You can't be telling your own jokes and laughing at your own stuff while you're telling it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and everybody has a different style, you know, like look at like Norm McDonald versus Dane Cook.
Yeah.
As like the opposite ends of the spectrum, on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always been a fan of stand up and kind of like you, always wanted to try it, but never like had the guts to do it. And I'll tell you, one of the things that like helped me pull the trigger on it was when I started doing more videos on the main channel and stuff, and I realized that like, I no matter what happens, like there's always going to be Hickok 45 videos made, whether Dad's doing them or I'm doing them down the road. But people are always going to see me as his son and compare me to him, no matter what. It could be 100 years from now. I'm embodied in an Android Google-made robot, laser guns.
Yeah,
they're still making money off.
You might as well just 3D scan him,
still
man.
bring up my dad. They're gonna be like, "Where's your dad?" But why didn't they bring him back with the new technology?
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, I gotta do something that is completely like just kind of on my own, and that was what kind of helped me, make that leap. And then once I got into it, then I was hooked.
Okay, so what were your influences as comedians, and what was the thing? Like, how did you actually first get on stage? Was that in school? How did that happen?
Well, I first started like about 4.5 years ago. It's the first time I went up at an open mic. But yeah, I was always into like George Carlin and Bill Hicks and Bill Burr, Louis C.K. Aside from the stuff, aside from all the controversy, he's one of the greatest stand-ups of all time. Just pure when it comes to like purely stand-up, like his writing and stuff is amazing. Norm McDonald, of course, and a bunch of younger up-and-comers I really like too, like Mark Normand and Tim Dillon, Andrew Schultz, if you know about some of those guys. But.
Some of them sound familiar. I don't know. You guys could tell me. I mean, obviously Norm Macdonald. I'm from the '80s, man. I'm kind of old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably closer. I'm probably closer to your dad's age than your age.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of old school. So I'm kind of like probably a Norm Macdonald kind of guy, in that vein. So
right.
Yeah. So where did you go ahead?
I would say I just always liked the good writing. The really good writers and jokes, punchlines. I've never been as crazy about where it's just like funny stories. You know what I mean? It's like I want jokes. And that's kind of hard, right? Too.
Oh, okay. So, so now for the folks out there, so you're doing this professionally, I'm assuming, right?
No.
Okay.
That takes a long time. It takes like 10 years for most people to be professional.
Okay.
Like I've gotten paid doing comedy, of course, but it's not. I couldn't do it full time if I wanted to.
Oh, okay. On what frequency do you do it? Are you every day, once a week?
Almost every night. Yeah.
Every night. Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Just about every night. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, at least before the lockdown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, Walter, why are you showing us paper?
Toilet paper. It comes packed with
you
your...
haven't seen that already?
It comes packed with your ammo now.
From the ammo boxes?
Oh, you're going to use that paper from the ammo boxes to clean?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, you got
a little bit of Russian
It's some
recycle.
kind of Russian disease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russian corona.
Yeah. That's not. I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work, Walter. That's kind of
well. I got a little bit more. Usually, I need a little more surface area than this right now.
What about those little like cardboard things that sometimes ammo comes in where it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like this.
Oh my gosh! No. Just go get some leaves from outside, please. Get leaves, okay? Go old school. So where can people? So you're saying you're going on stage every night? Where are you doing that at one place? Are you doing it?
So this is like. Mostly, I'm what we would call an open micer for the most part because most of my stage time comes from open mics, and I do shows like it kind of varies. Like sometimes I'll go on the road and I'll do like 5 or 6 nights in a row of shows, or I may go a couple weeks and not have a show, or it'll be like once a week or every 2 it's sort of random right now because I'm not like on the circuit yet.
Okay,
I'm kind of working my way in.
Okay, do you do? I have to ask these questions. Do you do tall jokes?
I do. I have 2 in my act, actually, yeah.
Okay. And do you pick on little people?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Okay. So
eventually, when I have a good enough bit for it.
Oh, okay. So what is the career path for that? I don't know. How long have you been doing every night, and what is the path for that? Do you just do it until you get an agent, or how exactly?
It's like a few different ways, especially nowadays with like new media and stuff. As far as how long I've been doing it, I started 4.5 years ago, and as far as like going up almost every night, that's been solid for like the past 2 years, and it's been kind of a gradual on and off build up, because the first year or two, like you're still kind of trying to figure out if you think you're going to be able to do it or not. It's rough. It's a rough thing to subject yourself to if you aren't like insanely determined to do it,
Yeah, that's serious.
It is. It's a big commitment because the thing is, like, open mics are 4-minute sets, so you're bouncing around different. Because I'm usually doing multiple spots a night, and you're bouncing around to different bars. You're waiting like hours, watching, brand new people trying it on their New Year's resolution and stuff, doing hack jokes from memes, and you just got to watch it over and over and over, and then you're like exhausted by the time you even go up, and you still got to focus and work on your new stuff, and you got to write every day. It's a huge undertaking that people don't really realize until they get deep enough into it.
Yeah, it seems like it's a real craft and a real profession. Do you do? Go ahead.
What's the writing process like?
Yeah.
How long does it take you to come up with ideas?
Oh, it's writing as hell. I love it, but it's tough. It's like it's either there's kind of like 2 aspects. There's like if I'm trying to come up with something completely out. It happens in 3 ways, at least for me, and I think most people would have this experience. They're sitting down, staring at a blank page, just trying to come up with stuff, like thinking about something you're interested in, like, what's funny about that? Just completely like out of the blue. That's the hardest way, but you kind of have to do that, if you're going to really like have some volume of material. And then one of the other ways is you work on stuff you've already got, right? So you already have a joke, and then you add a line to it, and you build it, and add things to it, and it's like kind of like a tree, just like little branches, and all that kind of stuff. And then one of the other ways is it just comes to you spontaneously. Like you'll just be having a conversation, you'll be like, oh, that's funny, and then you write it down, and maybe you can do something with it or whatever, or you just be taking a shower and you think of something, and you're like, oh, that's good. So you have to repeat it in your head over and over for the next 10 minutes of your shower so you can write it down and get out.
Yeah.
I've forgotten stuff like, oh man, like have you ever forgotten something important before? I'm sure this isn't just a comic thing. Like you remember thinking of something, and then you thought about a bunch of other things and realized like, oh, that you forgot that thing. So you literally like had to retrace like 15 minutes of thought to try to go back and find that idea, and just to find that it sucked.
That drives me the most crazy immediately when I wake up. So if I'm dreaming, I have these, by the way, my dreams are brilliant. genius.
Yeah.
I could solve like all the problems of the world while I'm sleeping. You know, and then I wake up.
Well,
and
you're a politician then, okay? Because they're all sleeping.
Yeah, I wake up and I'm like, that was so awesome. I just had a great idea for a movie. I saw everything in my mind, and when you wake up, it all starts to like flush away.
You got to keep a journal. That's why you have a journal next to the bed.
Yeah, but
some people have journals. Some
Yeah.
people have guns.
yeah,
That's right.
the brain is up, but the hands aren't working necessarily yet. You know, those kinds of things. I think like what I do a lot is take a lot of notes on my phone.
Yeah, that's what I do. It's
Yeah,
smart.
I wish you could tell Siri to take notes from the shower. That would help. But
Yeah, it would.
yeah, but
Right in the rain pad.
yeah, a rain pad probably would help. But yeah, every time I try to tell Siri to take notes, she's like, "You got to unlock me first," or something crazy like that. You know. So it's like, what is the point of this technology?
Yeah.
Let's see. There's some questions for you here. If you guys have questions, let me know here. I'm going to start going through this. Len Holt says, how does he handle hecklers?
Hecklers. I don't get a lot because I'm very large presence on stage.
I was gonna say because you're 6'7" and Sasquatch.
Is that why you're being so
You'd be like,
serious? You're like, don't even try to heckle me, dude.
I'm gonna crack your skull. You
But-
give me some crap.
This might surprise some people. When it comes to hecklers, so people see those heckler videos online
Mm-hmm.
of hecklers getting destroyed by comedians, right?
Mhm.
They're like super viral, a lot of them. It's kind of like cops. Like you see the ones that went great. A lot of the time it doesn't go well because someone who's like heckling you at a comedy show, a lot of times it's just a drunk idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what you say, they're just going to keep just saying stuff.
Yep.
And unless someone kicks them out, like it's just hard to win. So a lot of times you want to deflect, you know. So some guys like you're telling a joke and he's like, that's not true. You're like, oh, this guy really knows what he's talking about, doesn't he? You know, they just kind of like just something to kind of deflect. You don't, if you attack them, then they feel attacked and they have to come back at you. But if you can kind of deflect and move on, especially if you're getting a laugh, then it's like it's too loud in there for them to say anything. So it's just kind of you want to stick and move. If someone is just really being rude, like say something funny, you know, then you kind of have to like, you know, go in and trash their appearance or something like that.
Yeah,
But
and say something funny. What's your name?
yeah, exactly. But it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. It all probably seems easy until you get up on that stage. And
Oh, God, and then you
actually
just-
have to do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even doing like doing YouTube, what we're doing right now, or the videos that we all do, right? That's completely different from getting up in front of a crowd.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
In some ways, it can be harder. You know, like with stand-up, it's like you have such an immediate feedback. As soon as you say something, you can just feel how the audience reacted to it without even hearing them, you know, do anything. It's just like this weird, if you've ever been up in front of a bunch of people, you just feel how people are feeling. It's really strange.
Yeah.
But on YouTube, it's like
No.
you know you don't get anything
Yeah.
until you post the video. So it's like it's hard.
Yeah. On YouTube, you know you're awesome until you go in to edit that video.
You got five views.
Yeah.
That's
When
one reason
people,
maybe like
go ahead.
I thought stand-up would like help me with like being on camera and stuff, and maybe a little bit, but like in a way it almost makes it harder because that's like I just feel like I'm bombing the whole time.
You have no feedback.
Yeah. It's a completely different experience when you have to get up in front of people and do it. So Elfster's Rifles and Reloading says this. He says Joe Rogan recommends getting really, really high. Laugh out loud. Gun guys can't do that. Can't do that.
Yeah.
That's not an option for the gun folks out there.
Right. No, they can't.
Yeah. So they
Also, some of my friends who do that, they say it doesn't actually make you as good as you think it would on stage.
See, that's like I'm like way more attractive when I'm drunk, of course.
Right.
In reality, it's never the case.
Yeah.
I'm just a blubbering idiot.
Yeah. But, like completely sober. Maybe like I'll have like a beer if I'm doing a show. I'll have a beer or something just to kind of keep my, you know, just have something to drink. But I like to be just basically sober. You know.
Yeah.
I'm on my stage.
I know that there's probably a lot of rock stars and all kinds of different entertainers that make it look like drugs somehow foster your creativity. The reality is no. So like when I used to do hip hop music, I remember guys coming to record in the studio They're supposed to be great rappers, and they're like taking drugs or whatever, and then can't do anything. It makes you impotent.
Can't remember their
loss.
lines.
Well, they can't think of anything. They can't be. I think a lot of creativity comes from pain and suffering and all those kinds of things, and probably comedy has something to do with that. I don't know what you think about that, John.
Yeah. Well, I know Doug Stanhope used to say something like, Doug Stanhope is a comedian.
I've heard that name, yeah, Stanhope.
Well, he would say, this is just his process.
Mm-hmm.
He would say, I write stoned, I edit with cigarettes, and I perform drunk.
Okay.
And they die young.
Yeah, he's still alive somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stanhope. I think I hear about him on Rogan.
Yeah, look at Belushi,
Mm-hmm.
He's an
Belushi
alcoholic.
was like, one of those comedic geniuses, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
But
a little bit too much
Yeah.
fun.
And that's something I've learned being on the road is like you got to be. You can't just be like getting drunk every night. It's got to be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You got like Chris Farley and all these guys. It's such a long haul, and if you want to make a career out of show business, you gotta be sustainable.
Yeah, I think it's also more difficult now as well. Because there's so much more competition and things like that. So there's one thing of having the talent and the skills, and then there's the hard work, and then there's also the hustle that has to go into that. And I think if you're getting into a lot of these things, you could be the most talented person. You won't necessarily last that long. There's lots of talented people leaving the world because of all the drugs and things like that they're doing, and then other parts of their life spin out of control.
Yeah. You got to have the balance. Absolutely. Like being good isn't enough. Like I've known so many people in comedy that are very, very funny people, but they don't work. They don't like go out of town and do shows, and they don't like promote themselves. Like it's not like the 50s. Some guy with a fat guy with a cigar isn't gonna like show up in the back of one of your shows.
Mr. Big, that's
Yeah.
Mr. Big.
You're the man now.
for you, son.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore. Yeah, but
You mean it's not like Wayne's World?
Right. No.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And that's not necessarily a good thing. If someone makes you, they could break you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You got to remember that.
My plan is a lot of this probably got derailed because of everything being canceled, but I'm planning on and maybe still am, I don't know, planning on putting out, I'm calling it a micro special.
Okay.
I'm going to put out, it's going to be like 7 minutes of material that I'm going to have professionally recorded. And I was planning on putting it out at the end of the year, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. When you do that, let us know. Okay, Walter is apparently over here saving up all his paper for the...
This was from a box of Wolf. This is from a box of Wolf ammo. So the wrapper on the outside, a little more user friendly, I think.
Yeah, you're gonna get Russian AIDS from that.
Oh, I took the staples out. You gotta be careful. You might get a staple hooked in your kid.
Listen, that stuff is like sandpaper, Walter.
Well,
You're gonna have cosmoline.
Yeah, how smooth do you need your butt to be? Oh boy, yeah, whatever. Walter is trying to do his part. Walter's trying to do his part.
That's comedic, right? That's funny, right? Come on, laugh.
See,
Everybody laugh.
I think, as you can see, everyone wants to be a comedian. Everyone wants to be a comedian. That's how you get the ladies.
Well, the funniest people aren't comedians. That's the truth of it.
Really?
Stand-up comedians are just people who are funny that work the hardest. Like the funniest people are people who are not comedians.
Yeah.
Actually, I stole this gimmick with the toilet paper from somebody else on the internet. Actually.
Oh, see that, Walter?
Another gun person already posted stuff. Like
that is the worst thing to do in comedy, to steal other people's jokes.
Yeah.
Well, if they don't, if nobody knows who they are, then right? Does it matter?
Yeah. It'll wind
right?
up. It'll
Right?
wind
People
up.
know. I'm telling you, I've got friends, and I know them. They are comedy nerds out there, like you wouldn't believe. They know every joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every comedian.
You never saw that video of Joe Rogan? Who was it? Carlos Mencia?
Carlos Mencia.
Yeah. Walter didn't see that.
His name is Mud now.
Yeah. Stealing jokes. No, that's no good. That's just like in hip hop, biting somebody's lines. No.
Yeah.
Don't steal someone's lines. You also can't have a ghostwriter, apparently, but you should do, like, what you have to do in hip hop now is what the mumble rappers do. Just mumble stuff, and you don't have to write.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it right now. Listen, when you do that, are you going to put that out on your YouTube?
It's going to go on the main Hickok channel.
Oh, it's going to go on the main channel. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be mostly gun material.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because some people were asking here. Len Holt wants to know if you have coronavirus jokes or is it too soon? And then Keith
It's never too soon.
No.
Keith Gregory says ask him his favorite gun joke. So
I have a really stupid coronavirus joke. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Sure.
Let's hear it. This is comedy. This is comedy.
Someone who writes comedy. See, like stuff that goes in my act or that I actually try on stage. It goes in my phone and I, work on it privately. But I have all these jokes that just get churned up. Just in the process of looking for good jokes that I just like torture my comedian friends with, and this is one of those.
All right.
Look, I would never tell this on stage, but did you guys hear about that new strain of the coronavirus down in Mexico?
No.
Did you guys hear about it?
No.
Apparently, it only affects your eyes. Eye corona.
Dad jokes. It's a dad joke.
Oh, God, I love dad jokes.
That's a dad joke. Yeah, you need to do a book of dad jokes.
Yeah.
I write so many of those. Like I've got this friend, probably one of my best, if not my best, the best friend I have in comedy, and he's like this ultimate comedy nerd, right? So like jokes like that, like he's such a connoisseur of comedy that jokes like that like actually hurt his brain. I swear. The other day I got him. I was like, "Did I tell you about my friend that works at a farm?" And he was like, he falls for this stuff every time too. It's like I got this friend that works at a farm and works at a beet farm. And I was like, "Did I ever tell you about him?" He's like, "No." It's like, yeah, he's in charge of like once they pick all the beets, he's in charge of packaging them. Rounding them up and then packaging them up for distribution. They call him the beatboxer.
Seriously,
he got so bad.
Have you guys heard about the patient who went to his doctor wearing cellophane pants?
No, cellophane pants. Okay.
The doctor looked at him and said, "I can clearly see your nuts."
Oh boy, this is going.
I love dumb jokes.
Yeah, I know. This is gonna go downhill real fast.
I'll tell you who's great.
Hey, you don't have to worry about me. I'm out of that joke thing. So I'm just gonna keep loading mags.
I'm sure you're gonna have some jokes, Walter. I'm pretty sure you're gonna have some jokes. Yeah.
You gotta look up Norm Macdonald's like Tonight Show appearances, like when he's on the couch, not when he's like doing stand-up.
Oh, he's funny, man. Yeah.
Oh, he's so funny, and he always like takes like street jokes, like old jokes that right there, like everyone knows from like for who knows how long ago, and he'll take them and like normalize them, and like take like a simple joke and then make it like really long to where you're like, where the hell is this going? And then it ends in this like stupid pun.
Yeah. It's you feel like you're walking around in circles. I like Norm Macdonald, and there's a series of videos on YouTube about this of him flirting with like super hot starlets on that couch. Yeah. It's amazing. It shows you the power of comedy, that you can be a very unattractive man, but if you can make a superstar chick laugh, you're good. You're good. You look at those things, you're like, oh, Norm was all the way in that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's the best in the game at that. Yeah. I mean, he oozes funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, have you seen, he has a funny thing on the coronavirus. It was like, normally does not ever post his stand-up online unless it's something he's like professionally putting out. But he, his last set, I guess, before everything shut down, it was at the Improv, I think in California. And you can find it on YouTube, and he's just like riffing. It's clearly like not anything prepared. He's like riffing about the coronavirus and all this stuff. It's really funny. So check it out.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald, very funny man. That's I don't know. Like depends on the age group of the folks out there, but you know what? I actually
like every age group would like him.
Yeah, I think so. But I actually like the older comedy before everything got politically correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, political correctness has kind of like messed up comedy.
Where nobody is safe.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Now you've got to apologize for stuff like, like Eddie Murphy's got to apologize for stuff he said in the 80s that everyone laughed to. Everyone laughed to.
Yeah.
No, you don't. That's the problem. You don't apologize for that.
No, I agree with you. You shouldn't apologize for it. That's a time capsule of the times we were living in back then.
Yeah. That's the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, now it's this kind of this kind of dumbed down comedy in a lot of things where you're scared to say things about people. You know,
I had this joke I used to do about Sandy Hook.
Okay.
But it was like, it didn't work. Gun guys are gonna appreciate it, I think. But it would either like do really well, or it would like
crickets
wholly fall flat.
But like, I won't do like the whole thing. But basically, the idea is like, after the Sandy Hook shooting, which obviously was one of the worst, things, one of the worst massacres like that we've ever experienced in this country, and want to see that stop. But I think some of the ideas were bad. The families filed lawsuits against the company that made the rifle that was used in that shooting, which I never understood, because from what I saw, the rifle did what it was supposed to do. It worked.
Yeah.
Why you? Yeah. Okay.
It's a quality rifle, I don't understand.
Yeah. True. Yeah. So we know
it worked too well. That's the problem.
Yeah, we know as gun guys, it's not the rifle or it's not the thing, it's the person behind it,
right.
And you can take anything and turn it around. But yeah, I think everyone out there doesn't get that or understand that. But when it comes to creativity, and definitely comedy falls in the category of art creativity, we need this kind of stuff to help us laugh at things that are even painful.
That are dark.
Yeah.
Now you can make paintings of like Jesus getting peed on and all these kind of weird things that these artists do. And that's art. That's okay.
Yeah.
But if you say something about somebody or some group, then you're a bad person.
Yeah. Well, if you're trying to be creative, I think you should just not worry about being politically correct. I don't know if Lily Singh still has First of all, I don't watch the late night stuff. Because I don't have regular TV, really. But I don't know if you guys know this. Like, so Lily Singh, do you know who that is, John? She was a YouTube comedian. Wasn't she like Superwoman? That was her YouTube thing. And then she actually got one of those nighttime shows, and I think it was either canceled or is about to be canceled. It didn't do that well because she's super SJW.
Yeah.
And no one wants to see that. And I think also...
nobody wants it.
Yeah, if you do look at the stand-up stuff that we're getting at night now compared to the early zeros, the 90s, the 80s, and stuff like that, now I can predict it. If I put that thing on, they're going to be bashing Trump. So
that's all they do.
Yeah, whether you like him or not, at some point it gets to be like, really? This is it's lost its entertainment value.
When it's so funny too when there's so much comedic stuff going on with the people that they support.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's pick on the guy that just anyways, you know the story.
Yeah. Like I follow Comedy Central stand up on Instagram. They have like a specific stand up Instagram page. And God, like, just go there and look sometime. Like, almost every single one of them. Occasionally you'll see someone that's good on there, but almost all of them, it's like they're not even jokes. That they're just saying progressive things that progressives agree with. And it's not even it's like there's no joke here. What is going on?
Yeah.
It's really wild.
Yeah, I don't see how that. I think if you compare it back to the heyday of Eddie Murphy, all those kind of guys. From back in the days, Norm McDonald and all that, it was equal opportunity. So if you went to work that day, you were living your life or whatever, and this was in the news, whether you agreed with it, liked it, didn't like it, or whatever, you would know that they would somehow deal with that in a funny way, versus no, if I turn on the TV, they're going to be going after Trump to show how stupid he is, or whatever's going on there,
or shitting on the country. A lot of comedians like to shit on the U.S. And you're the only reason you can say what you can say is because you live here. If you tried that stuff in Iran or Cuba, see how far you last.
Which we don't want to be those places either.
To me, comedy is like, if you're trying to be edgy, it's supposed to be like brave to a certain degree, but like these real progressive comedians act like the things they say are brave. Like it's not brave to trash America or to like trash white people or all, like everyone's doing that.
The white folk are now we're the I hate to say it, we're the enemy of the nation, I guess, to a lot of people. And
it's a weird topic because I hate, like, you feel like you're some sort of like alt-right sympathizer when you even address it, but it's like you know, I don't get offended if people make fun of white people, but why is that considered brave or like clever? Just just because you're doing it, like it's too easy.
I don't think any of us should get offended if anyone makes fun of who we are, if depending on where the how can I put it? What's the intention behind that? So if the intention behind that is to be vicious and hurtful and you know, push a button on you and get you going, of course that, you know, that's terrible. But if the intention behind that is to humanize us all and show, like, okay, so if you're making fun of someone for being black or white or woman or whatever, man, whatever it is, to show how at the end of the day we're all the same, then that's a completely different thing.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
But it doesn't work that way. Unfortunately,
that's why it's not funny.
There's certain things you can talk about and make fun of all day long, and then if you make fun of somebody and they happen to be black, then all of a sudden you're racist. So, you know, it's not equal
I'll tell you what I
opportunity.
found is what's really interesting is, like, if you do jokes that are about race, that touch on race, because I've done plenty of those, and if you do them in front of a black crowd, they're on board, right? Because I'm not racist, so the joke is not going to be racist. You know, I understand jokes enough to where I know what I'm saying with the joke. You know, if you do it in front of a black crowd, they're fine. They're on board with it because they can tell if you're racist or not.
Yeah, they know if it's funny. Yeah.
You know, white liberal crowds, because they don't know. They don't know if it's racist. They feel like it should be.
How could you say that about somebody? How could you do that?
Yeah.
I'm offended.
Yeah. So do you get into that same kind of trouble when you're doing, like, gun jokes?
Well, I've tried a lot of different gun jokes, and there are only certain ones that are actually in my act, and that's because they work, you know, for all the crowds that I do. So yes and no. Like the ones that are in my act, not really, because they're just you know, they're pretty universal. Like, but yeah, some of them probably that I've tried.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, and then being in Tennessee, you're probably not running into a lot of problems with that. What happens when you go, like, outside of Tennessee? Or do you run into those issues in Tennessee?
Nashville's very liberal.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so, like, most of, you know, that's one reason I'm, like, kind of, the gun jokes that I do have in my act, I'm very proud of those because I do them in front of liberal audiences mostly, and they work really well. And that took me a long time to you know, to crack that nut. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And the liberal audience is definitely some nuts. Ask next time you're in front of a liberal audience, ask them if they tried to get a gun during the coronavirus outbreak, and did they learn about background checks and stuff?
Yeah.
Think of that.
Yeah. But see, also, you know, so along the same lines of what we're saying, what would be funny to me is actually making fun of gun guys. I would like to see you do jokes about making fun of gun guys, right? You know, because
and that is a little bit of what kind of what part of my act is. Like, it's like I sort of, you know, there's certain things I sort of like let them think that I sort of am the guy that I look like a little bit, but also I'm not. And I sort of put that back and forth. Like, I am the guy you think, but then I'm not. I am, you know what I mean? That's sort of like how my act works right now. So yeah, I do want to write some stuff.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like, it's sort of like, of course he sort of canceled himself, but that John Crist guy, you know, if you know, he's like a famous church comedian. It's not a circuit that I know much about, but a friend of mine used to open for him, and that was sort of his thing. Is he was a religious guy, but he would make fun of church and church people.
Church people.
But he did it from like a perspective of being, you know, in their group, right? You know, it wasn't like hateful because he is a church guy, you know.
Yeah,
it's like the church lady from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, because there's a lot. So there's funny stuff that we do as gun guys. We're fun. We do crazy stuff.
Well, you want to do some crazy stuff? Run around looking for ammo like it's the end of the world coming up. That's pretty funny.
I'm gonna tell you, there's no legitimate guys running around like that for looking for ammo. No legitimate gun guys, in my opinion. I'm not saying there's not gun guys out there looking at ammo. At this point, though, if you're out shopping for ammo, you're not gonna get the prices that you're used to.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you. Well, the funny part is now gas. They're trying to give away gasoline now.
Yeah, gas is real cheap.
And ammo is crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, I say buy some extra gasoline.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's a couple of things going on with that. First of all, the Russians and OPEC have a war. They're at war with each other right now. Yeah,
that's good.
It's good for them. It's good for now.
The Russian economy. The
Yeah.
Russians have to sell oil to keep their economy afloat.
Yeah,
that's a fact. So they're going to do it whether they're on whether the ones that the Saudis are on board or not.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. It's I think it's good. I don't like the idea of OPEC at all. I don't think OPEC is, basically if you people don't understand what OPEC is, it's all these different countries that sit down at a table and control the price of oil. And the way they control it is by limiting. So, they'll say, oh, we're only going to make this much oil. And of course, a lot of them, they're Middle Eastern.
They don't do it anyway.
Africa. I used to live in Nigeria. Nigeria's in OPEC. No one holds up, it's like the Nigerian prince thing. That's all of Nigeria. All business runs like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no one lives up to that. I think Nigeria actually supplies 25% of the oil to America. So I don't know what the whole OPEC deal makes. And I think now they're fighting with each other to see who controls that. And it's getting so cheap that it doesn't make sense to get oil out of the ground here, because I think getting oil out of the ground here only makes sense when oil is expensive.
Yeah.
Which is too bad. Yeah, and then
because it would be nice to bring more manufacturing and resources back to America.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
That would be cool if we get that out of this crisis. That if we, if people actually go back to making stuff here, that'll be awesome.
Yeah,
well,
because you would think it would balance out a little bit. Like I know it would cost more because you got to pay people more, but also you're going to make more too. So I mean,
you gotta do a lot of things involved with this. First thing, you gotta turn the lawyers off.
Mm-hmm.
Lawyers are one of the main problems that manufacturers go out of the country too, because you can get sued for looking cross-eyed at somebody. You gotta back off. You gotta back off on the environmental stuff, because the environmental stuff is fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
The regulations and everything, and it's not doesn't mean that people are going to start polluting the environment.
Make it more cut and dry at least.
Yeah.
Making it simpler,
Yeah.
Regulations. I mean, the regulation thing would just drive businesses out, and I can see why. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But
you're right. Litigation is a big deal.
You can't. Every time you turn around, if somebody stubs their toe, you get sued because they were wearing your socks or it's like that's got to stop. Sorry.
Yeah.
But the system is set up for those people, for the lawyers and for the judges. So, and they're all lawyers. So.
Yeah, I went through a divorce, so you don't have to tell me
that. Yeah. It's like I say with the elections. The only people that make any money are the people doing advertising and printing signs. That's it.
And the politicians, they win no matter what. All these politicians that are running on the Democratic side, look at all the money they've got stacked up. And you can't believe them. Even what's the name? There was I keep forgetting her name. There was the one that was from Hawaii.
Tulsi Gabbard,
who's now been reprogrammed to love Joe Biden.
Now she loves Biden. Hillary came out and said she was a Russian plant. She decides to step out, and she's like, "By the way, I'm endorsing Biden."
I told you they'd all kiss and make up. Come on, man.
Yeah. What did you say about Hillary, John?
I would say she's insane. Like, at least like Bernie Sanders, I don't know, like he's way off on what I believe in, but at least he seems like a real person. He seems like a human being. He doesn't seem like an android like the rest of them.
Hillary's probably taking so many damn drugs to stay alive.
Yeah. How much do you guys want? So, do you guys think we're still going to see Hillary at some point in this election? Because I still think no.
I don't think so. I think she has even less of a chance than Bloomberg did.
I think at some point, I think she's still trying to figure out how to get back in there.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah, she's trying to figure out how to get in there. She doesn't want to be vice president. I don't think. I don't think she wants to be vice president.
I told you how she'll do that.
How would she do it?
The president will have a mysterious death.
Oh.
Like all her friends do.
That'll be a real House of Cards type of situation right there.
Don't put it past him.
Yeah.
Trump is going to destroy Biden or Sanders.
Oh yeah, either one. He's not. Just like the 2016 election, look at the rallies and the gatherings. Trump draws huge crowds, and people stand outside in huge crowds. Do these other people do that?
Yeah, well, also I think that
No.
so unless we are going to apocalypse after this, right?
This'll pass.
Unless we're going to apocalypse, which I think in a couple of weeks here we're going to start, because you can't keep people are not staying home for more
They're
than a
not
few
going
weeks
to.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to. Why would you?
Yeah.
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 This is
You're
my
not-
theory.
You're not sick. Why are you going to stay home?
Yeah. Go ahead, John.
This is my theory. This is my theory on what's going to happen based on people I've talked to and what I've read, and we'll see how close I am. But I think that this quarantine is going to last a month from when it started. So we've got another about 3 weeks of it, and then it's gonna go out the way it came in. You know, they're going to be like, okay, now you can have 25 people in a room. Now you can have 50. Now you can have 100. But I don't think the virus is going to be gone. I think it will be slowed down to the point, which is their goal, so that the hospitals can take care of it.
Up.
And everything. But I think there's a very real possibility that almost everyone will get the virus. And whatever the death toll is what it is. I don't think we'll be able to stop it. I think the government knows. I think they know they can't stop it.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Everybody
At this point, most people are going to have this virus, but most people are going to be okay, and some people are going to die, and some people are going to get
It'll be
really
like the
sick.
Spanish flu in 1918. 2% of the world dead. You know?
Yeah. But in the end, we've got a whole bunch of different viruses that we have to deal with every year. This is just going to get added to the list. Right now, they're trying to see, in my opinion, how far they can actually push people. And they want to see, are people just going to, self-quarantine, social distance, or do whatever they say, and how long do people do it?
In the middle of the summertime?
Yeah. Well, I haven't done it at all. I'm still out. I'm still out every day doing my thing, but
I'm going to work.
There's a lot of people that are out there paying attention, but they want to see how long it's going to be. And who knows, man? Maybe the aliens are our overlords right now, and the reason why they're quarantining everyone is so they could slowly transition in human beings. Like the invasion of the body snatchers. Like people are getting replaced. Right now.
There's 2 alien vaccination shots right there. I volunteer to vaccinate the aliens. Okay, let's vaccinate the aliens.
I'm gonna start us on a conspiracy tangent.
Uh-oh.
Have you guys seen ID2020.org?
No. ID. What
Nobody's heard of this yet?
No. What is
ID2020.org?
Okay, explain
Microsoft and Bill Gates are founding this, what they're considering revolutionary idea, where it's kind of twofold. One of them is they're saying that what we should be doing is an invisible tattoo, so if somebody's been vaccinated for the coronavirus, so you can tell that they're safe. And then his other thought is that we need to have implantable microchips that will basically allow. Yeah, no. This is absolutely true.
Auschwitz. That's all I'm thinking right now.
And who's gonna make these?
Allow your medical history tracked when you go to wherever.
Not gonna do it.
No,
not gonna do it.
I think this isn't some this is Bill Gates. This is their foundation that's providing the funding
for sure.
Thing.
This is how you This is how you push people into doing things, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to do this just so that everyone stays safe.
Example of you need this, then we know you're safe from.
No.
We know you have a tattoo.
No, not gonna do it. No.
For a tattoo.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. For a while.
Right.
I mean, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to know how much does the government really wish to control us? How much do they already control us that we can't do anything about? It's just it's so messy. It's so hard to know. There's part of me that's don't trust anything the government does, and then part of me is they're just like us. They're just like us trying to figure it out. They're making mistakes, and we think it's evil, but it's really just idiots. Making mistakes.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's so hard to know.
So if we're looking at this, I don't think the Illuminati. Let's say we're talking about the Illuminati, right, with the conspiracies. I don't think the Illuminati is necessarily the government, in terms of the government employees or the police department or whatever, right? We could if there's an Illuminati or people who are out there deliberately trying to control the future and how things play out. It's probably some people, and we could probably put Bill Gates and those dudes
They're
At least know as much as
elitist.
anyone else
They're
would know.
elitists that think
Sure.
they know better what's better for you.
Yeah.
Just because is Bill Gates.
Yeah.
How
Right.
can he
But
not know what's
You got to
better?
think about this though. What if they actually? Here's the crazy part. What if they actually do? What if they know something that they can't tell us because
So-
it would cause panic? So they got to steer everyone in a certain direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's possible.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
they didn't know enough to stop the virus.
Yeah.
True.
They didn't.
Unless it's on purpose.
I mean,
you know?
without a doubt, the government is always messing around, right? That's what Iran-Contra was. That's what happened with Oliver North, and lots of different situations.
I'm on a list, by the way. I don't know if you guys are aware. I'm 100% now on the list.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I sent
list?
an email to Oliver North the other day.
Oh.
Absolutely, because I was curious. Have you guys ever heard of Rex 80? I think it's called Rex 84.
Was that
Readiness-
a Black project?
Readiness Exercise 84. It was a list of, basically the government put together a list of 100,000 people that were, if there was some sort of like the world fell apart, they would round these people up and put them in internment camps. So they were like dissidents, like government dissidents.
Yeah.
Right.
Oliver North was the one that came up with it.
Really?
So I was reading about it. It only came to light during the Iran-Contra hearings, and there's only ever been the little tiny bit during Iran-Contra that came to public. So I was like, well, I'm going to go to the horse's mouth. So I sent an email.
That's why
like,
guns
"Can I-"
are so
That-
important. It's the only tangible thing that we have that acts as a firewall between all that unknown, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, I sent him an email and I was like, hey, what is this about? Because I want to hear from
You sent you sent Oliver North the email. Did he respond to your email?
God, of course not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What his response was, "Would you like a sweet or a double?"
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are buddies now.
Yeah, exactly. Are you trying to be on the list?
Do we need to make space for you automatically? What is it?
Yeah. They have a list of the dudes who want to be on the list. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
I don't want to be left out. Whatever you do.
Look at Oliver North. Isn't it funny? I think I was talking about this week in one of the previous
you were.
podcasts. Isn't it funny that Oliver North went to the NRA? Kaboom! Went over to the NRA. Done.
Yep.
Yep.
If he's so much in the know, how he didn't know that the NRA was crashing?
Maybe
Tell
he
me
did.
that.
Maybe he did.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Maybe he did.
I doubt it.
Maybe he did. We don't know. I don't know, man. Oliver North could be deep in that, in that Illuminati. Let's,
Yeah. That feels like the NRA feels like a puzzle that we never got to finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because it was like, it feels like around the time we dropped out with them, it was like, after that, it was like, okay, it's like they won't budge, we won't budge.
Yeah. They locked
Now
up.
what?
They circled the wagons and locked up everything. There's no.
There's
control.
almost going to have to be like another big run on guns or something, for us to really like be able to deal with it again. I feel like though that we will see the evidence of people abandoning the NRA the next time there's a big scare, like something happens and there's like big legislation. It's like a post Sandy Hook or a Parkland type situation when everyone is going to these other groups like GOA and Second Amendment Foundation, stuff like that. That's when they're going to realize like, oh, where'd everybody go?
I don't know. Uncle Fudd won't go anywhere.
Yeah, John Crump says he's a member, and he's a member of the Illuminati, and he has us. And this is his message from the Illuminati. He says, "We, the members of the Illuminati, watch the WMMF podcast, so you're safe." That's how we know we're not safe.
Well,
Yeah,
one
exactly.
thing I know is they didn't start no virus because the virus don't care if you're Illuminati or not. So
No, none of those things.
it'll
None of those
it'll
things.
kill you either way. So yeah.
Yeah, none of those things do. Do you? So I know when the whole NRA thing came up, you guys put out stuff about it. Everyone was paying attention to that. Has that pretty much died down? Are you guys,
Yeah, like,
feel like
every now and then we'll get a comment and someone will like not realize we dropped them. They'll see like an old video where we talked about it.
yeah,
Give us a hard time or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty much died down. It's like one of those things where, we had faith in the largest, oldest gun rights organization, and we knew they were having trouble, but we wanted to stay with them because we thought like they're it. They're gonna fix it. You know what I mean? It's like But then it was just like a point where like, all right, well, they're not, so we gotta.
Yeah. How far do they have to fall before they start getting their shit together? Are they just bleed the whole place dry? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't feel like we'll ever get it together at this point, really. I mean,
it feels like that, yeah.
Yeah, how did it...
Still Wayne, has to retire because he's too old to walk into the office or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did it look for you guys? I mean, were you guys really like on the inside there, How did it look? Because we're like seeing this from the outside. So just like a lot of the fans and everyone that looks at you all, you guys are icons in the gun community, right? So, and probably some of the most recognizable people that do what we all do here, right? So we just assumed that you were like flying around on NRA jets and in the limos and all that kind of stuff. But how did it seriously really look for you?
Ancient temples.
Yeah. How did it look for you guys?
We just had contact with their marketing team, and basically they were real tight-lipped. I mean, that was something I noticed early on that kind of was a little weird. Is like when the NRA hate first started because of the bump stock thing, like we contacted them and was like, hey, we're getting like attacked for this. Like, what's going on? What are you guys doing? Like, trying to get some information, some reassurance or whatever from them. And it was just like a very short response. Thank you for letting us know. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Just like they wouldn't tell us. Very tight-lipped kind of thing. So they're very compartmentalized, like a government organization. So we didn't really have much in until like right before Chris Cox got booted. When it was really things were really heating up, and we were really like deciding like, should we stick it out with them or do we need to abandon them? Because like we were honestly thinking about whatever we thought would be best for the Second Amendment. Like, do we feel strongly enough that people are wrong, that the NRA isn't worth saving or whatever, And we reached out to someone and we were like, we'd like to talk to someone at the NRA. It kind of made it clear to them, like, we need to talk to someone to understand what the hell is going on, or we may leave. And then they put us in contact with Chris Cox, and we had like a phone conference with him, and like he made me feel better about the situation. And then when he got fired and got booted, I kind of realized that he might have actually been kind of the good guy. Possibly he could have been just saying whatever he felt like he needed to say, make us still feel positive about the NRA. But when he got booted, that was when it was really like, all right, yeah, we gotta be done. But that was the closest contact we ever had, was just talking to him, and he didn't really tell us a lot. You know what I mean? He just kind of reiterated their perspective on, things and stuff with the bump stock stuff and with the red flag laws and all the stuff that they were doing. And like his take on it kind of was like, people don't understand like what it's really like, when you're actually out there lobbying with these people and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, I can see that, but
yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, honestly, if we don't
have a lot of insight.
Yeah, if we don't understand, the thing that they could do is make us understand. But I think probably...
And I told him that very thing, but he was just like, no, our policy is to not address criticism.
Well, okay, yeah. And there's probably a lot of people that worked for the NRA or were working with the NRA, right, that were trying to do the right thing. But ultimately, if it comes down to, if the NRA is an organization running like how Putin runs Russia, and it's really just Wayne LaPierre controlling everything and a few guys, there's not a lot that that really anyone can do about that outside of that tight circle that's truly running it. You guys weren't officially like a face of anything, right? You weren't officially working for them, like, for example, how Coleon Noir was, right?
No, we were just all we did was support a membership drive. So like basically what we did for them was we worked out a deal where we would push traffic to a website where you could join.
Yeah. For something that you thought, hey, this is the right thing. We're all gun guys.
At the very least, we're like, be a member, even if they're not perfect.
Right.
Yeah, but then obviously became that wasn't even something we could stand behind.
Yeah. And you guys were life members?
I'm not. Dad is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's funny how the old school guys are all life members.
Well, back when they joined up, it was seemed to be a reasonable organization, most of them.
Yeah. Also, one of those NRA shows, they had this like huge discount for it years back, so a lot of people got it then.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't mind talking about this a little bit, since we have you here, how did it feel like when everyone put the whole thing on you guys' shoulders? So everyone was frustrated. We all couldn't talk to the NRA directly, but there was obviously some people that kind of like put it all on you guys. How did that feel? Inside the camp for you?
That was like a terrible time for me in general, because I was the October 1st was the day after the Vegas shooting, and that was when all of the bump stock thing happened, and that was my first court date for my divorce.
Oh man!
So literally like the worst day of my life.
Wow!
Like that, I can't give the details of that, but it was a miserable day from that perspective. And then later that day, like I found out what had happened because the post that Dad had made, and everything. And so I was like trying to back him up on that, and it was just a nightmare, because our thing was like at the time, because we still trusted the NRA. The time it was like, okay, they're trying to sort of like do a stick and move on the anti-gunners, and it's like a strategy, you know what I mean? And that was like our take on it at the time, and so I backed that up, of course, on that, because like we're a team, obviously, and not to get into the weeds of all that kind of thing, but still, that what our mistakes were made, and we try to do our best moving forward. But that was a rough time. It was, because it felt like all of a sudden everybody was against us. Everything that I felt like we had done positive for the gun community, and everything, and then it was just tough to know what to do in that situation, because it was just a lot of vagueness and stuff.
Yeah. Did you feel like all of us were looking at it that way, or all of us were thinking you guys were the bad guys, or was there anyone like talking to you guys in a listen, this is the thing about opinions, right? So Walter and I, we're friends. Me and Patrick, we're friends. We do this podcast on a regular basis. We don't freaking agree.
Yeah.
No. And sometimes we argue it out and everything, but we're friends. But so it's weird, right? Like this gun community thing, which you're a part of. You're, like I said, you're like icons in the gun community. How was that working? Were there people trying to talk to you guys and say, hey, this thing that these guys are doing is not really going to work. Here's our evidence. This is what's happening. Or was it that you guys were just trying to, like you're saying, you're living your life, Hickok's living his life, and then all of a sudden you're just waking up and seeing headlines or whatever?
Well, I feel like part of the problem was, like, with the exception of one person that we won't name.
Yeah, we don't have to get into naming anyone.
The other creators were, just voicing their opinions about it, and without them attacking it, they weren't attacking us directly, but then like their fans would come and attack us based on what they were saying. So it definitely created some tension. Like myself and Tim and Eric had a little bit of a blow up that we all worked out, and everything is fine now. But a lot of it was because of that. It was just like a tense time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a mistake that I definitely made was attaching what just random people were saying to other creators when it wasn't really their fault that other people were escalating it to the level that they did. There's always going to be people that are going to take something too far,
Yeah, it's so easy for people on the internet to go to DEF CON, especially with people they don't know. Like this whole time that I've been doing this, right? I remember the first time I met you and your dad. I think it was at the Bullpup shoot years ago in Kentucky. Do you remember that?
Yeah, ages ago.
Yeah.
It was like eternity ago.
Yeah,
now.
I have a picture, and I have actually video somewhere, because I remember telling Lola, I was like, listen, Lola, I don't know these guys, but I met Mac. I'm going to go up there and start talking to Mac and schmooze a little bit with Hickok, and I'm going to try to like hit him with some jokes. You go and shoot some video. And make it look like I'm, hobnobbing with
You're balling with Hickok, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But you guys have always been nice. So I remember meeting you guys then. I remember, we've bumped into you like SHOT Show, all kinds of different places, never came across as bad guys. For that matter, other people in this thing doesn't come like people. Some of us beef here, and I think what the audience out there doesn't realize, like I go to SHOT Show and NRA and whatever other shows, it's just me a lot of times, or maybe me and Lola. And we all see each other. There's no shootouts. There's no fights, even with people that we don't like or don't get along with. How do people just go immediately to like DEF CON with someone because they don't agree with what that person is saying or how they're looking at it?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, where's the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah.
You know, like try to understand someone's perspective before you just go and call them all kinds of like horrible things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also realize you're dealing with human beings that have lives and don't necessarily live inside of this every day. Although all of us, the Second Amendment means so much to us that we're here doing this. Right? Exactly, but we still have to live our lives. So when you guys came out and made that statement, and then I'll get off of this, I just want to, I'm just curious about this. When I saw that video where you guys were sitting down talking about this, the thing that kind of struck me about it is that had to be tough with all of this stuff going on to then like come out and make this video and say, hey, we're looking at everything that's going on here and we've decided we're stepping away. I thought that was real big of you guys to do that, because I've seen other people that if people try to tell them something, even when they see that it's clear that what those folks are saying is right, they just double and triple down on it. But you all got together and then decided to come out and change everything. How did that take place with you guys?
Well, we've always, whenever we would have conversations just between me and Dad about the NRA and our relationship with them, it was always about the Second Amendment, what we thought was the best, because we wanted to support them because, like I said before, they were the largest gun organization and firearms organization, and we thought that it was a good thing for them to be strong and powerful. So it was about that. It came to a time where we realized that we finally came to terms with the fact that they weren't good for us. You know what I mean? We kind of felt like it took us longer than maybe it should have to realize that, and part of that was because we thought once everyone started attacking us, it was like a us versus them kind of mentality, like what you're talking about. Then once we kind of realized it for ourselves, then it's like, well, we got to do the right thing. A lot of people accuse us of it being financially motivated and all that kind of stuff. It's like I told people a million times, we have a large enough audience where there's plenty of opportunities for advertisers. We could go with anyone that we wanted. We choose the people that we have because we like those organizations and they fit well with our channel. So it was never a financial decision. You know what I mean? It was what we believed in. We believed in the NRA until we didn't. So
and you're not the only ones. The rest of us were all there. I know there's folks out there who were like, hey, I never trusted the NRA, and I've been hearing that this whole time. But I think we all at some point, I know I've been doing this like 7 years, and from that time we were all trying to support the NRA. And then all of this stuff started coming out, and we all started realizing like, oh, these guys, whatever's going on, they're not paying attention to our feelings, and they're not necessarily on our side. There's lots of mismanagement and all that going on in there. So we were all coming to these conclusions at the same time. So, okay.
Just the fact that they didn't clean house alone, even if somehow Wayne LaPierre is this saint and was doing everything right, and everyone there was doing everything right, and we're all wrong. Like the fact that they they still should have changed some names in there, because the bad reputation they had was going to hurt their effectability. So that's when it really became clear that there's something bad going on.
They to regain some credibility.
Right.
And
they have done nothing. Do that.
Yeah, we see it with a lot of. So there's a lot of companies. I think when things go wrong, they don't. Not just the NRA. I think there's gun companies, lots of people. Things go wrong, they don't talk directly to the folks out there, and I think they could solve a lot of. Like we've seen that with some gun companies, right? That people get really mad at them, and they don't try to talk directly to people. And if they did, there could be some kind of understanding. Like we're seeing it right. We've always been mad at cheaper than dirt.
Right.
Well, when ammo gets hard to buy and they jack it up to $800 for 1,000 rounds of 223, shouldn't you be mad?
That's too much. Like, I could see raising the price a little bit. I kind of disagree with some people on the price gouging thing, like with the toilet paper. I think, first of all, like, let's say with the toilet paper stuff, they should limit it. I think they're starting to now, but they should limit it to, like, whatever, 1 packet per customer, 2 packages per customer, something like that.
Right.
If you do raise the price because the demand is so high, just raise it a little, like, a certain percentage or something like that that's reasonable. But if you're like jacking it up so high, you're taking advantage of people. Now that is wrong. But I would rather be able to buy something at a higher price and it be available to me than it's just not available at all. But I saw what Cheaper Than Dirt was doing. That's too far.
Yeah.
I mean, you can raise it whatever you want, and if you're dumb enough to buy it for $900, 1,000 rounds,
that's on you.
Go for it. But
but some people. Here's the thing. Like, okay, so the gun world. All of us here and the people who are in the chat, people who are looking at this, we all follow the gun world. But there's other worlds that we do not follow. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So we understand this, but we are like a tiny percentage of the people in the world. Most of the people in America, for example, do not follow this on a day-to-day basis, and all they know is they woke up one day and the news is saying over and over again, this is the end of the world. The whole world is on lockdown. People are dying everywhere. This is going to happen, and they're immediately going to panic. Now, there was a lot of stuff about toilet paper in the news, right? People responded to that. There was nothing about guns. How did people wind up responding in the way that they have about guns, where
because it's natural. You want to defend yourself.
You can't stop people from stealing your toilet paper if you don't have a gun.
And I'm fully on board with accepting our left-leaning brethren that have decided to go out and buy every gun they can get their hands on. I am welcome to the group. Now, hopefully, you'll decide to fight for your rights instead of thinking all of us are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I may or may not have sold a pretty good rifle to a pretty famous comedian.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So are you getting?
The past week or two.
Yeah.
Asking me about guns and different things. It's been cool.
Yeah. So you're getting that because you've kind of built this niche that you are a gun guy.
Right. And this is just people from my personal life that I know personally. Obviously on the internet, people are hitting us up all the time, but like people that I know in my life that I've met or had some interaction with, they're like not gun people. They've been reaching out to me and stuff,
We had our landlord call, and
really?
I know him, but I not like buddy, but we're just like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, well, I like to get something. You can recommend something? It's like, oh, I don't do that first thing. I didn't say that to him because everybody's different. You know how that goes. I said, well, are you familiar with guns at all? Oh, shotguns, and I've got a 410 shotgun, and this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, this is not the time to be buying a gun. First thing, probably. Even if you get a gun, you won't be able to get any ammo for it.
Yeah.
So it won't be. But I mean, go look on the internet, look at the reviews, look at people's videos, and then I can get anything you want. Yeah. Just talk to me.
But it's kind of okay. Well, it's kind of late at this point.
Right.
Yeah. Because for example, a lot of the ammo stores, ammo manufacturers, I think was it Hornady? Hornady put out a video which goes in line with what we're saying. Like, I commend them to actually make a video and talk to their customers. At least that's a step in the right direction. But a lot of companies are saying that you can order this ammo. It's going to be weeks before it can be manufactured and get to you.
The ammo companies they're going to make X amount this year of this, X amount this year of this, and that's their quotas, and that's what they do. That's what happened with the 22. Remember how you couldn't get 22 and people were paying crazy money for 22 long rifle?
That's why I say the toilet paper shortage will last a while because the 22
people can afford it.
Yeah, but toilet paper is a lot easier to make than ammunition. So,
that's probably true.
I mean,
the factories are a certain size and designed to
they might be making toilet paper one day and paper towels the next, and and tampon. I don't know, but I'm just saying, the chicks better buy the feminine stuff. Don't worry about toilet paper. Just get the get the good.
We are definitely gonna get a run on 22 again. So Think about
Stop
that.
saying that, Hank.
That's already
Okay,
happened.
this is the
Stop
reason.
propagating that. Jesus.
I'm trying to help people out because you could still get
Don't
it. It's
help
still
me and make them go get it. Stop.
okay. Let me just explain to you when they start making more ammo, they stop making 22.
Stop!
Okay.
Do you not understand what you're doing? Stop it.
They don't make that on the.
It is.
They don't make.
It is weird that 22 sells in like a crisis situation like this because
Well,
9 and 5.56 or 7.62 by 39 like combat calibers is what you want.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
carry
know,
my
man.
revolver in single action. Says lots of 22 on the shelf. 22 is probably the most practical ammo. It is.
Patrick,
It's the most
tell
practical.
him you can put 15 rounds in that Marlin lever action.
Well, I can't right now because
And if I thread the end of that barrel and put a can on there,
really
I can take
it.
anybody's gun.
Yeah. Well.
Anybody's gun. So and very quietly,
Yeah.
by the way.
Matt Morrison says I'm fear mongering.
Yes. Cut it out.
But think about it. 22 is the most 22 is the most practical thing. It's the best ammo for any apocalypse. 22.
I can always get a weapons upgrade with that 22.
It's so unreliable though. That's my.
It is. Yes, but
Clever guy. But yeah, in a semi-auto, no.
yeah. But listen, you can use it to hunt. You can use it to some extent for defensive. It's not the best. It's not the best defensive, but it's cheap, lightweight. You can carry a bunch of it. You can use it to hunt. There's all these different uses that 22 has. So ultimately, if let's say we go full apocalypse here, you can't stay. Don't think about you're not going to be able to shelter in place and all that past a certain point. Unless if you live in the country, you're gonna have a lot more time. If you live in the city, then whatever. You might as well run from the city right now. But
Yeah.
Run, Forrest, run.
yeah. But it's to me it's just the most practical thing. You can carry a lot of 22. You're not going to be able to take your 10,000, 20,000 rounds of 5.56.
no, you're
All I
not.
need is my 50 rounds of 50 BMG in my barrel.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it comes to that, then I break out the APIT, and everything's burning then.
If you shoot a rabbit with that, it comes cooked.
Yeah.
He's ready to eat.
And I know where it's at because of Tracer.
The original MRE.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. So what do you think, John? What's your odds on we're actually going apocalypse here?
I think like actual apocalypse, 0% chance of an actual apocalypse. I think worst case scenario that's realistic would be like a serious economic downturn, and just serious like economic crisis could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
once the fear of the virus goes away, the
I think people are
economy the economy comes back. It's not
I
like
think people are going to be desperate to go out and go to dinner and go do regular things.
people will be in a couple weeks. People will not be staying home, regardless what the government says. They will not.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the Dow Jones to get down to about 5,000. I'm going to put
Going all in.
I bought a couple. I've never invested before, and in this downturn, I was like, I'm going to buy some shares of some random shares.
Hey, I've invested, babyface. See
Yeah.
right here?
Yeah.
By the way,
We're done
we're
before.
all on the stock market, even if you don't know it.
Yeah. Oh, you know something really fascinating that's happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
So, because of one of our sponsors is a gold and silver company, I follow it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So silver,
It's low.
so normally when the economy is bad,
Mm-hmm.
gold and silver is up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a weird thing happening right now where the demand for gold and silver is really high
Mm-hmm.
to the point where like the websites that sell it are like sold out of it just about.
Mm-hmm.
But the price is super low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why is
Silver
that?
had been like, do what?
Why did silver go? Why is silver so low?
I really
get
don't
that.
understand it.
Wasn't
to be
it?
honest.
Wasn't silver just trending?
It's like $11 right now?
Yeah, I thought silver's been trending low for years. That's my understanding.
Well, kind of. It had been like 14 or 15 for a long time, and then here in the past like 6 months or so, it's been up to like 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it at now?
Because the economy's been like,
It's like 10 and a half or something.
but now it's like 11. Gold is
crazy low.
gold is 15. It's pretty 1,500. It's pretty stable, but silver is way down. But what's interesting is like a lot of the like the silver coins and stuff, they still cost more because the demand is high.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys
Weird.
buy silver? Because I've always been interested in buying just like bullion, but I don't know where to really go about any of that.
Yeah, what's that
This
company
feels like
that
a
you?
setup for my sponsor.
Yeah, exactly. What's that company that you guys are doing it
Well,
with?
we work with a company called Atmex, and of course, like I'm not trying to be in sponsor mode.
No, but it's cool, man. This
Great
is info
example.
we need. It's cool.
That's a legitimate question.
Yeah.
Like I really want.
But they're big. But they're one of the big ones. There's Atmex, JN Bullion is another one. There's like three or four. Now you want to stay away from the companies that like force you into like a broker, and like that's all horseshit. Like you just want to buy it, yourself off Amazon, like it was on Amazon or something.
Yeah.
But Atmex is the company we deal with, and we bought from them in the past and we liked them, so we reached out to them and they started working with us. But yeah, it's pretty simple. You just go on there and they have all the bullion stuff. They've got like old coins. I really like when it comes to gold. I haven't bought a ton of it, but just a little bit of it. I really like the pre-33 gold, and if you buy it in like the random years that are not like rare or anything, it's pretty close to like the spot price, and it's an actual like old gold coin from 1800.
That's really cool.
Okay.
And you got to remember something too. If you buy like coins, like dimes and quarters and silver and stuff like that, that's something you could trade with somebody. If you got a 5-pound brick of silver, you're not going to give that to somebody to get some food.
Not one person.
Oh, fractional.
Yeah.
Right. So
Okay. So
you got.
that was my next question. Like, what do you do? So So in a full blown apocalypse, does gold and silver do anything for you, or is that just like we hit tough times? It does something for you, right?
Now, gold and silver is only protects you against like strong economic downturn.
Okay.
Full apocalypse, survival mode doesn't mean shit.
Okay. So in a downturn, yeah, the other precious metals, like the other white meat.
Right.
Lead. Believe in it. Lead.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's a great. Oh, I'm not going to say it. That's a great shirt.
Yeah. Okay, you already said
It's
it.
like the famous John Wayne line, right, from was it Chisholm, I think, where the guy's like, some guy stole his cows, And he's like, the guy wants to sell them back to him, and he's like, "Did you bring in gold?" He's like, "Nope." He's like, "Silver?" "Nope, just lead."
So in a downturn, what does one do? So let's say someone goes out there and every time they get paid, they get a little bit of silver and put it away. In a downturn, how do where's the proper place? What's the useful place for them to go to turn that into something?
Like a coin shop.
Oh, okay.
Or even just like we buy gold place. I think but a coin shop especially.
Oh, okay. So, and that place that you guys are using, do they only sell it to you?
They will. No, they will buy stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how it works. I mean, you have to like ship it in and stuff, But yeah, they do that. Normally, when I sell something, I'll just go to a local shop and just walk in the door and do it that way.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, they can't really screw you over on it. I mean, they could try, I guess, but as long as you know what you got, know what it's worth,
right.
That's where like I think the bullion stuff, or if you're gonna get an old coin, make sure you get one that's like really close to spot, so you don't get into the numismatic stuff, because that becomes very like opinion based, where it's like gold and silver is worth what it's worth,
Okay.
People don't realize also silver is used in a lot of manufacturing, so
Yes.
was kind of driving that. So I guess when manufacturing goes down, silver would go down.
One of the theories is that gold and silver could go crazy high once we get into like a new era of space exploration, which could happen in the next 20 years or something.
Yeah, and a lot of the rare earth metals and stuff like that, which we don't really get here. I think the rare earth metals are only available on the moon and in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So that's a conspiracy theory for you right there, Patrick.
And the Chicoms are trying to get their feet into Afghanistan, but all I say is may the force be with them, because they'll have a fun time there.
Yeah, that's not working well for anyone.
They don't have a real high opinion of people of the Muslim faith, I guess we'll say.
Wait, so with the stock market, I would say people should just I don't think the stock market's finished going down yet.
I agree.
Yeah, it's not going to go to zero, but it's not finished. I wonder where Tesla is right now on the stock market.
I don't know.
Time to buy.
Yeah. Well, I
feel like we're at this hump right now where it's like we don't know yet how bad it's going to get. It could get much worse or just a little bit worse.
Yeah. We need to.
But we're going to know soon.
Yeah, we need to see like what's happening. I think like today's news was that there's all these drugs that already exist that could be used for this, and now they're like experimenting with that or doing tests with that. And if those drugs are useful, this could all turn very fast. Go ahead, Patrick.
It feels like the beginning of an apocalypse movie where, like, we're having this conversation, there's clips of the news. And it's like 3 years later, and everyone's dead.
Here's what happens. The aliens come to Earth. Maybe the aliens planted the virus. We're all gone, and then they come in here now, and they find the archives of us talking, and they're like, these idiots. They didn't even know what was going on. And you know what's funny? This is the funny thing. I've been telling people, man, this is how America got colonized, by the way. Do you remember this? Yeah. America got colonized because when they showed up here on the shores, a lot of the Native American Indians were wiped out by plagues. So
you're saying the aliens sold us blankets?
Well, no. Yeah, maybe. But it's not even like they didn't come here and then it's not the blanket thing. Before they got here, there were plagues that were going through Native American population, and there's lots of places that they've found that there were so many people that died in these villages that everywhere, like, there were just dead bodies buried everywhere, and then there were a few bodies of the people who were left, and there was no one left to bury them. And this is one of the reasons why the settlers got a foothold on America.
Why do you think that the these civilizations like in Central and South America that vanished? They didn't vanish because of white dudes. They vanished because they were eating weird shit, just like the Chinese do.
Yeah, but
and they got stop it! No aliens involved. They're eating some white shit. They're eating some weird meat, and they bit into the same kind of virus that's going now, and it killed all of them.
Yeah,
there was no.
Or they ate certain kinds of mushrooms, and they figured out how to build spaceships.
Yes, thank you, John. Thank you, John.
Now that is a comedy routine right there.
Listen, we are made. Okay, do you realize we're made of germs? This is what we are.
Speak for yourself. Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm just talking about biology. There's no way to get to change that. Listen, maybe what happens is the Chinese wait until we all get wiped out, and then they just drop into America and take over.
Don't talk bad about the Chinese. You hear me? Don't talk bad about the Chinese.
Too late for that.
You racist.
This is the Chinese virus.
I know it is.
I can't believe I didn't get the corona because I did a comedy festival in Hawaii like a few weeks ago, and all the shows were literally in Chinatown. So I was in the easternmost Chinatown.
So you were extra super giant during that thing.
Yeah.
Stop that talk. Stop that talk. It's not China. I called it the Chi-Com
Walter,
virus, actually.
Just for you and for the YouTube overlords, I am partly Chinese. Just FYI.
Oh, you're part of everything.
So, yeah, that's my immunity. That's my immunity. I'm using that.
So am I. Can't you see it? Can't you see? I like that kind.
Yeah, I'm technically Asian. Yeah.
I'm not. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not.
Yeah. This is what we are reduced to nowadays, John. You only get immunity if you're something. Like if you're black, you can't be racist, apparently.
Right.
That's the only way you get immunity now from being. You have to like be something, and I think this is why like all the kids are pretending that like they're or confused or whatever it is that they're this thing. I've never seen this level of like seriously kids just identifying as stuff that I think in a couple of months, a couple of years are gonna be like, what the hell was that? It was a fad.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like getting a tattoo or piercings or something.
I'm identifying as I don't know today. I'm confused. I don't know what I'm identifying as.
So
I identify as a gun. I can't get on airplanes anymore.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, what if your gun was your emotional support animal?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Let's not go there.
No, no, can't do that. People used to be able to fly with guns.
Emotional, I gotta have my AK mag with me. I gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you a story. Like I would imagine there's a statute of limitations on this, but we'll just say I know someone who flew in the 70s one time,
Okay.
1911 by accident.
Someone.
And
Is this person very tall?
I don't know. I'm not going to say. But this person didn't realize it, and because it was the 70s,
Yeah.
no one knew, and it was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't allowed to then, but it was just like no one caught it, I guess. And on the way back, this anonymous person, they took it apart down to every little piece and wrapped up each piece in like a towel, and then put it into the bag just to show like I wasn't trying to shoot someone on this plane.
Yeah. Because back then the X-ray technology wasn't that good.
Well,
you used to be able to do it. You used to be able to do it though.
There was a time when it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
I heard a story one time of Phil Dater, Dr. Data, the guy that started Gemtech, flying with a machine gun. I mean, just put it in the overhead thing and fly with it.
They can make a rule where it's like no ammo, unless you're a sky marshal or something. No ammo on carry-on. You can't have any ammo carry-on. It all has to be checked. But you can bring a gun on the plane if you want.
Sure. Sounds good.
They check it, make sure it's unloaded, there's no ammo. You can't have people firing guns on a plane, obviously. Unless it's a sky marshal and he's got special ammo or something.
Yeah, do the sky marshals have some kind of special aerospace ammo that I don't know about?
They do have something. There is something where it's like frangible, like super frangible, I think.
I don't think a bullet hole will cause what people have this conception they're going to get sucked out through a 38 caliber bullet hole.
It depends how much pressurization is going on that plane, how high the plane is. Because remember, there was a woman that was sucked out of one of those windows.
That was a window, though.
Yeah, but the window cracked and then broke and sucked her out.
Talking about 0.38 diameter versus.
Yeah. I know there's an anti-tank round that does that. I've heard about that from guys in Iraq. There's kind of tank round that makes it like a tiny hole, but everyone inside just gets sucked out through the hole.
Yeah. I think you could get people. With enough pressure, you can get a person through a little tiny hole. I mean, come on. We were talking about toilet paper in the beginning of this thing. We all have the examples on our bodies of lots of stuff going through little tiny holes. So, let's not. I mean, I'm not trying to be graphic with anyone. John, so I know we've got I don't know if folks out there have questions or whatever. We could definitely get some questions in here. If you guys have it. But I know you're into cars and stuff like that, so I want to take this opportunity. Can we talk about some car stuff? You're still into motorcycles, right?
Yeah, I just got a new one, actually.
Oh, okay.
And I'm selling my car. I sold my car.
What was it? What did you sell?
It's a 1969 Buick Skylark.
Oh, Skylark. Cool.
It's really neat. It's really neat, man. I love it. I wish I had the time for it and the space for it, but it's just like one of those things where it needs more work than money I want to put into it. And I just don't have the time. I'm so busy traveling all the time. Or at least I was traveling all the time.
Right. That'll happen again.
I'll get another one.
Today, was there more travel restrictions today? I heard something about that.
I don't know. I mean, I could travel, obviously, for comedy. There's no shows. Can't be any comedy shows.
Yeah, I don't think. Right. So I think we closed the southern and the northern borders. So.
Well, that should be done. Yeah. That's not a.
Those pesky people from Canada can't come into America anymore. That's where we need to build a wall. Canadians, man. That's how you freaking get Alex Trebek and all those dudes up in here.
I'll tell you this is like a thought I've had on the border wall situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when people talk about it's like inhumane to not let Mexicans come across the border. If you think about it, why are they so special, right? Just because they happen to be on the border, why not all the other people that need refuge in America? Like, why do they get special treatment just because they happen to live there?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, so it seems unfair to the rest of the world if Mexicans are jamming up the immigration system when there's probably people all over the world who are living in conditions that would need to come over here.
Everybody all over the world wants the whole world to be America, but then when they get to America, they want to be America to be wherever the hell they came from. And I'm an immigrant.
They want to be. They want to be back in Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens in states too. Like it's happening in Nashville. Like people are like, "Oh, the taxes suck in California or Washington or wherever," and then they moved to Georgia, and they're like, "Oh, we need to
ruined
change
it.
the laws here and make it bad too."
Yeah. Let's see. By the way, I'm looking at your IG. Let me see if I can roll this in for the people. So this was okay. So what kind of shape was this in?
Oh, it like the body was pretty straight on it. It had
pretty good.
some rust in like the passenger floorboard from where it used to have a leak on the corner of the front windshield in the top right corner. But it's pretty good shape, man.
Yeah.
It's got a 373 stroker Chevy motor in it, a 373 rear end, and it had like traction bars on the back of it, a posi rear end, and everything.
Okay.
It was built as a drag racing car originally. It was a 3-speed automatic.
Oh, cool. It looks like a post-apocalyptic vehicle to me, man. I like it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's bad timing.
Yeah, bad timing, dude.
I know. If I had more like time and money to put into it, I thought it'd be cool to like go full Mad Max, like take the glass out of it, put like rebar,
Yeah.
you know.
You know what you need to do? You need to jack it up, man. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Get it up off the ground. Put it on a 4x4 chassis.
John, have you ever heard of the Gambler 500? Okay, it's $500 car, 500 miles, like off road.
Oh wow.
Okay, yeah, they have it up in Tennessee too. They have it all over the country. Started out in Oregon, but yeah, you build yourself a Gambler car. That's kind of what Hank's talking about, jacking it up and putting big tires on it. And all kinds of weird shit.
I have a 1990 Suzuki Samurai. That's my jacked up. You know, have you ever seen the Samurais? Basically, it's like a baby Jeep. So it's like when you saw those Asian folks, they were little tiny people, and then you. So the Jeep would be you, and then that Samurai is like a little baby version of a Jeep. But it's cute.
Awesome.
It's cute. Walter actually used to have one. Lots of people used to have those.
I had one.
Back in the days. That's my thing. So you're just.
I'm telling you.
Huh?
I'm telling you, man. Next month, the Gambler 500 right here in Florida. You should be gambling in the Suzuki.
Yeah.
We're going to test out your 4x4 capabilities.
That basically, though, it's got 60 horsepower. That's my complaint about it. 60 horsepower. I need a little bit more horsepower than that. You know, I've never gotten that thing to 60 miles per hour.
Wow.
So, you know, that's the one thing I would change. Are you just into like American muscle cars? What kind of cars are you into?
Pretty much. Like I really want to get a like my dream car kind of is a 55 Bel Air, and I had one for 2 weeks. And
what happened?
I had to put it back because I bought it from a place and it was one of those. It seemed like it was in good condition, right? It wasn't like showroom or anything, but it was in like pretty good working order, and everything seemed good on it. And then I was driving it around. It rode fine, and then after like driving it for a few days, it started doing this thing where like I'd be stopped at a light, and it was automatic, and it'd be in drive, and all of a sudden the motor would be working against the brake to the point where it was defeating the power of the brake and going forward.
What?
So I had to pop it in neutral to get it to not go, right? I was like, that's not good. And it got worse and worse over the next few days, right? So I took it to this place that deals with classic cars, and they were like, and they put it up on the lift and looked at it, and they were like, that's the least of your problems. And they pointed out all these things where basically it was one of those cars where somebody had just put it together good enough to where they could sell it as more than it was. And he was like, when did you buy it? He was like, when did you buy this? You know, could you take this back? And it's like, you think I should take it back? And he goes, I would.
Could you actually take it back?
I did. I took it back.
Oh wow. Okay.
A little bit of stupid tax, but not as bad as it could have been.
Oh. Okay.
So that was disappointing. So now I know, make sure I spend a little bit more money on one. Wait till I'm ready to spend more money on one, and make sure I do a better job of having it looked over and stuff. But I love those cars. Until it started screwing up, it drove great. It's comfy. It's like kind of like driving a pickup truck. Got a big old hood, and everything.
I always recommend if somebody's like you're enamored with the car, right? You gotta have this car. Take somebody along that's gonna look at it critically,
right?
Because you'll be go, I gotta get it, and they'll look at it and go, man, run, Forrest, run,
yeah. And then if you definitely, do you have the skills to fix up stuff yourself, or
I've done a little bit of that over the years, but I don't really have the time. It's like, you know what I mean? You can only have so many hobbies, you know. So it's like I kind of want something I can just have someone else work on. It's in good enough shape to where it's not always breaking, and I can have someone else do what it needs to be done.
Need a daily driver car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like, I feel like there's a lot of classic cars that can be had for, you know, 25, 30,000, or maybe even less, that are like, you know, they're daily drivers, and they got like more modern Chevy motors in them and stuff, and they run, and there's not like a million things that have to be fixed on them.
Yeah. Maybe if you could find one that someone actually fixed up properly, and you know, it's in good shape and all that, they fixed it up and probably put more money into it than what they're going to sell it for. That's probably the best way to go. But like Walter said, you want to make sure that it's still in good shape. You only do like classic cars, right? You don't, like, you're not going to go get a 2020 Hyundai, you know, Sonata or something like that, are you?
Oh no, I have a new car. I have like a Yukon. I have a new Yukon, but
okay.
Yeah, but I don't. I guess I won't have one. That's all I have. I have the Yukon and the bike now, and I sold the Skylark. So.
Yeah. So are you more of a bike guy than a car guy?
I guess maybe now it's like I like them both, but it's just like a bike is easier, and I don't know. Well, classic cars and bikes are like probably equally fun to drive. I feel like, but a bike is easier because the bike is new. It's like a brand new Harley, and it's, you know, it's just, classic cars are a lot to deal with. You know, they're big. Where you're gonna put them? I don't have like a lot of space where I'm at right now, as far as like I don't have a garage and stuff. So
yeah. It's also, you look more badass. I remember when I met you and your dad in Kentucky, you guys rolled up there on motorcycles, and then you got off there. They were standing like, and then you're having cigars. Everyone was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, Dad sold his. I sold that bike, and then didn't ride one for 4 years, and I just sort of, I don't know, just got the bug again. I was like, I'm gonna get another one.
Oh, okay. Would you ever get an electric motorcycle?
Maybe.
Oh, maybe. See that?
They got really, you know, they got cool. Tesla made one, maybe.
Oh, Tesla. Oh, okay. So you like Tesla? Do you like Tesla stuff? These guys.
I like that truck, the Cybertruck.
Yeah, these guys make fun of me because I put some money down on the Cybertruck.
Oh, dude, I would totally drive a Cybertruck.
Yeah. When I get my Cybertruck, I'm gonna hit you up, man.
All right.
We'll do something. I'll come over there. I'll do a video with you guys on the ranch.
He'll get you out of the wheelchair, because that's how long it's going to take. Now, you don't realize 4 40-round mags in an RPK pouch. You don't realize how heavy 4 40-round mags are.
Loaded, yeah.
Oh yeah, I just did it.
BAR guys back in the day. You ever like, well, you even know like M14 mags. Like, you carry much of that around here.
Oh yeah. That's real man shooting. So
yeah. Walter, are you actually sitting there loading for the apocalypse? That's what you've been doing.
He spent the whole time doing that.
Hey, wait a minute, hang on a second. Let me show you something. Let me go over here.
Okay, without getting, let's see. Oh, really?
Did you see it?
Yeah, you did.
That's the empty boxes.
Walter loading up.
I do hate those little pieces of paper in those boxes. I know you're going to use the toilet paper.
I can sell this as toilet paper. Come on, man.
And you're going to get some kind of Russian AIDS, but those are really annoying.
And you might get the staple too, which is even worse.
Yeah.
Makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
Russian AIDS.
Yeah, that's where you start talking. You start talking like FPS or something like that.
FPS Russia. Have you seen any of like his podcast appearances, like him talking about being in jail? And stuff?
That was interesting.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Do you guys communicate with him? Do you know him?
I've met him and had brief conversations with him over the years, but that's about it.
Yeah. That was really amazing what happened to him, man. That one, he lost his rights to guns.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is insane.
He really got screwed.
Yeah.
Like, hearing him actually explain the full story, I was just like, wow.
Yeah. And then they really made him go do jail time for some nonsense.
They just made an example out of him,
yeah. Yeah, and I have seen him. So I think he's just now doing the podcast or doing cooking stuff.
Yeah. I think he's probably in good shape financially. He's got all those, he's got all those buddies in that world and stuff, and I think his podcast is pretty successful, the one he's on.
Yeah, and he's doing I think he never stopped doing video game stuff.
Right, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but it does.
And he's got the money from those old videos that are probably still getting
yeah.
more
He still
views than
has to.
anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. FPS is probably still. I'll tell you how I knew FPS was probably on the top of the game. My kids don't give a crap about anybody else in the gun world. But when I ran into him at SHOT Show and I posted a picture, they're like, "What? You know FPS Russia?" You know. And then they thought like he's really Russian. They thought when he did those drone videos, remember he did these videos where he had a drone and it was shooting people or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, they thought all that stuff was real.
Yep.
You know? So, yeah, he's
I
still
remember
got that.
I met him pretty early on when he was first rising to fame, and there was do you know the ammo company Lucky Gunner?
Yeah. Lucky Gunner.
Yeah. So they had this big machine gun shoot back in like 2011 or something like that. And just for some perspective on the time, he had just posted the video with the
AA-12?
AA-12. I was having like a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
like, what was that?
That's I just remember that because I think that's his biggest video, right? Single video.
Maybe the biggest gun video on
ever
YouTube. Period.
Yeah, yeah.
What's it have? Like 100 million views or something?
Insane.
Holy
something.
cow.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
insane. Yeah.
But he had just posted that, and that was still at the time when like almost everyone thought he was Russian still. So getting to hang out with him and talk to him as just Kyle,
Yeah.
it was really weird. It felt like I was getting some kind of like crazy, like getting to see the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. And he's so nice. He's like a southern.
he is.
He's like a southern gentleman.
Yeah.
It's weird. It is a weird thing if you look at the videos and then you talk to him. And, you know, thankfully he's not on all the time. Like, you know, he's not trying to do.
Right.
Yeah, not trying to do that.
That's weird. Like, I know comics like that. Like, there's a comedian, Mark Normand. You have to look him up. I've mentioned him earlier. Incredible joke writer. He's like a modern Seinfeld almost. But, like, way edgier. But that he plays this sort of character, you know, where he's like, oh, comedy, jokes. You know, he just sort of has this, like, weird sort of thing on stage. And I got to meet him on the festival I was on. And he's that same guy. When you talk to him,
oh really?
You know, off stage. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, if that's who he really is, it's cool. But some people, it's tough to keep up that. That's what Robin Williams was trying to do, right? Like Robin Williams stayed on all the time, and I don't know if that's necessarily good. You got to try to be. I prefer the people who are who they are, you know, most of the time.
It's like when I'm on stage, I'm still like I am now, basically, you know, for the most part. I just have prepared things to say that I know are going to be funny, hopefully.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's what I think is funny. I'm going to recommend people go check that out. We actually hit 9 o'clock. 2 hours went by really fast.
It went by
was fun,
really
man. Thanks for having me. It's great.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks for coming on here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with Walter and then go to Babyface and then you. But Walter, if you could tell the folks out there, where can they find you? How can they support you? If people want to buy that Russian toilet paper from you, how exactly?
There's a whole pile of it here. I'll make them good deal. and it'll do good for you. Yeah, you'll like it.
That's not a Russian accent. That's not, okay.
I know, but I got China virus. I talk like China.
You actually, okay, you should be able to do a Russian accent, but okay, whatever. Yeah,
I know it's in the heritage.
Yeah, you've got the heritage.
I'm completely off it now. I can't do it at all now. You
can't. Your go-to accent can't be a Chinese accent, Walter. You gotta add something to the repertoire.
I got the virus.
Yeah. Okay. How could the folks keep up with you, Walt?
They can check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Safety Harbor Firearms. Now that my mind's completely off on another subject. Yeah, Instagram,
Dirtfoot Racing. That's where you got the mini bike stuff.
Racing, yeah. Check out the go-kart.
I would like to see you put Big John on a mini bike one of these days. That would be.
I would do it.
Yeah. See, there you go.
You just got to build it a little bigger.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're
smaller, it'd be even funnier.
Yeah. If you're ever in Florida, Big John, let us know, man.
Okay.
Yeah. And Walter also makes 50s. Walter makes a 50 upper that goes on an AR lower.
Oh,
right. And also, I'm a Class 2 manufacturer, so I get all kinds of machine guns and stuff.
Yeah.
Too, so.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes. Safety Harbor Firearms, Facebook, Instagram. Over on Gunstreamer, there's Safety Harbor Firearms. Mine's are Safety Harbor Firearms, all in one word. You got Dirtfoot Racing, And then also stenparts.com for all your Sten parts.
There you go. Yeah, the Sten parts. We got to talk about the Kentucky. We'll talk about that next week sometime about the.
Oh yeah, Knob Creek was canceled. So,
yeah.
Is it canceled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we're gonna have to do Knob Creek virtually or something. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll do digital Knob Creek for those people.
Yeah. All right. So
they can shoot the virus.
Yeah, shoot the virus. Yeah. Okay.
And free toilet paper with every purchase.
Right. Babyface now who needs toilet paper. Patrick, how can the people send you toilet paper since you...
Listen, I'll give you my address if you want to send me some toilet paper.
Yeah. Donate to Babyface.
Yeah, youtube.com/babyfaceP. A video went up today. We got lots and lots of content on the way, and we're going to be working on that from today, the Marlin Model 39A. Beyond that, baby_faceP on Instagram. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, awesome.
That model 39 is sweet.
That Model 39 shot great over the weekend.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
So, John, how can the folks out there support you? Where are the places you'd like them to go to support you, follow you?
Of course, Hickok 45 on YouTube, and then there's also a John Hickok channel on YouTube. I haven't done a lot with it lately, but I'm going to be doing more with it. I've got a couple of clips on there of stand-up you can check out. And have a one I think you guys will enjoy about what the real reason is to carry a gun. Have you seen that joke yet?
No, I saw the joke about where you were saying people ask you, why do you have a gun? Is your dick small? Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, is that it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was amusing seeing you talking about that. I don't know. You guys have to go watch that.
That's it's so stupid that people say that. It's like, that's the point I'm making the joke. Like, what are you going to use your dick to knock a gun out of somebody's hand? You're going to save your life with your dick? Of course you got to carry a gun.
Oh, that's really good.
But that's a common thing. These anti-guns. What? Yeah. That means you got a little dick because you like guns or something.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
John has a good bit on that one that I'm like, I'm stealing this. I'm gonna steal that, John. I'm sorry.
It's okay as long as you just do stand up, and it's all right.
Yeah. So. Oh well, I am trying to, No, actually, I'm not trying to. That is my dream. One of these.
You should try it, dude. Sometime you have to. If you come to Nashville, I'll do an open mic or down there. I'm sure they got them in Florida.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I will.
Put some together.
Yeah, my son is big into this. He goes to FSU and he does improv and acting and all that kind of stuff. And he does stand up and all that as well. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. He's not as tall as you.
I'll run into him one of these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've done a lot of shows in Florida. I did a Florida run I don't know, a few months back. I did Jacksonville, Orlando.
Oh, cool.
Tampa.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was it. Just those three.
Yeah. Walter's in the Tampa area, and Patrick's from there. If you're gonna do Florida again, you should let us know, and then maybe we can we'll come and see you, but we'll get some.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We'll get some gun folks to come in there. Also.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And heckle the hell out of you.
Yeah, we'll heckle you.
Yeah.
That'll be so much fun. Yeah. So.
But also Instagram. My Instagram is John JOHN _ Hickok 45 on Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, everyone, stay right there. I'm going to drop the end right now for everyone. There you go. Make sure you guys subscribe, smash the thumbs ups, ring the bell, all that kind of stuff. We do this Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. We also rip out the audio and put that up on iTunes and all those kinds of good places. I'm going to recommend everyone go to hankstrange.com to find out more about us. Thanks to Safety Harbor for sponsoring the show. Big thanks to Walter and Babyface for coming in here and helping keep this fun. And of course, Big John Hickok. Don't believe what he's saying about the appendage. Don't believe that. We don't have any evidence here, but Anyway, listen, before we get back into more of that, thanks for coming on, man. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you have fun.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we'll see you Monday. Everyone be safe out there. Try to have fun. Don't be too stressed out about everything
Go
going on.
outside, get some sun.
Get some fresh air. Get some fresh air. It'll make you, and the sun will make you feel better. Absolutely.
Yep.
100%. All right, we are out of here. I'm going to smash the button right now. We're out. Peace.